In this video, I'm going to explain about the PTE listening multiple choice choose single answer question. I'll explain how the question works, what you should expect, but just as importantly, I'm going to give you some useful tips and strategies for this item type. Multiple choice choose single answer is scored very simply by either giving you correct or incorrect. Obviously, this item type contributes just to your listening score, and you might get it 2 or 3 times in the exam. So what happens? Well, just like a standard multiple choice question that we're all used to, you listen, in this case, to an audio, which might go for like a minute or just over a minute, and then you have to select from about 5 options to choose what the correct answer is. And you just select one option. It's not to be confused with multiple choice choose multiple answer. That occurs as another item type in the listening section of the exam. So, what should we expect in terms of the types of questions? Well, I'm going to talk you through the 5 types of questions we might get now. So typically, in this item type, you are being asked a question which is testing your ability to understand one of 5 things. The first thing is, what is the main idea or gist, G-I-S-T, of the lecture or the talk that you've heard? So by the main idea, what is the main theme? Maybe 4 or 5 important things are being said, but is there a main one that glues it all together? The second one is about detailed information. Now, what we mean by detailed information is perhaps the lecture might go for 1 minute, but at one point for just 5 seconds, there might be a bit of information that's mentioned. The question might ask you to capture that. So in the first one, the main idea or gist, it's about the overall idea of the whole talk. Whereas in the second one, about detailed information, it's more about pinpointing specific information that is mentioned just briefly in the audio. And for the third one, the speaker's purpose. What is the speaker's intention? You might be asked a question about that. Are they trying to make a convincing argument, or are they just trying to express some facts? Are they angry? Are they advocating for someone else? Are they talking about some kind of injustice? What is the purpose? You might get a question like that. And number 4, the speaker's style, tone, or attitude. Kind of similar to number 3, but in this case, you might be asked if you can detect if the speaker is angry, or if they're passionate about something, if they're not really interested, if their position is very objective, or if they're really deeply involved in this issue. And the 5th type of question you might get is inference, I-N-F-E-R-E-N-C-E. To infer something, the verb, means to say something without explicitly stating it. Let me give you an example. If I said today, I'm definitely taking my umbrella when I leave the house. Well, we know one thing that's very explicit, I'm taking my umbrella, but you can guess what I'm also trying to infer, that the weather report says it's going to rain. So that's the 5th kind of question. You might be tested on what is the inference of what is being said in the audio. Now, one final extra tip. Some students like to take notes, others don't. I recommend, personally, rather than taking notes, you just keep your eye on the screen and multitask by listening and also skimming your eyes slowly over the 5 or so options that you're given to select from. And finally, very, very important, like a lot of item types in PTE, we need to keep in mind that you will be tested on rephrasing and synonyms. Now, we need to remember that even though it's a computer that assesses us in PTE, it's humans who have written the questions. And those humans are playing tricks on you to make it hard for you to get the correct answer. In this case, one trick that they might do is to give you an option to choose from that has 1 or more keywords that occurred in the audio, but in the option that they're giving you, the meaning is different because of the surrounding words. So don't be tricked by thinking, oh, it must be option B just because I heard that same word in the lecture. Chances are, in actual fact, it's more likely to be an option that is using a synonym or something like that, rephrasing, paraphrasing, okay? So keep all these tips in mind. See you soon.